Um, Thank you so much first for inviting me to talk to you about our anti-corruption efforts. We are not the ombudsman, and like Jess, I also say we've moved forward significantly. The things I hope to just leave you with in a few minutes now is just the possibilities ahead, and those are possibilities enabled by technology. If you take a look, right now we're streaming live on both Facebook and Periscope. It now requires only one cell phone to communicate to a large group of people. That is an amazing thing. That is shifting the ground underneath our feet. And if we can harness that for anti-corruption efforts, you can take society along. The viral implications, again, if you look, which groups are using social media the best right now, there are two hashtags that are constant. I'd say one is good, the other is evil. The good one is the largest ever in the world tweets in one 24-hour period. Al-Dub, 41 million tweets, right? The other one is what we saw happen in Paris. It is ISIS. ISIS posts more than 200,000 pieces of social media content every day, and it has learned to use the about 30,000 foreign fighters that it has as beacons to actually push out its messages. If you have good and evil, if you have entertainment and love and hate, literally come, why can we not use this for anti-corruption? This is what we do in Rappler. Rappler is a little more than 3 years old. We're 3.5 years old, and we grew on social media. Social media is the game changer that connects you directly to your community. This room full of people, if we were to harness each of our communities, I can't even imagine to tell you the potential of what we can do together. And I'll give you a concrete example of what collectively the Philippines has been able to do on anti-corruption. And it, again, was unprecedented for me. If you guys remember hashtag Million People March, it took one Facebook post 7 days to actually get 100,000 to 120,000 people in Luneta Park protesting against corruption. When my ex-boss told me, corruption has been a major issue for me because I think it's the root of all of our evils. If we can control it, if we can make it transparent, good governance follows, right? So he always told me that corruption is not a gut issue. Filipinos don't really care about it. That, of course, changed when President Aquino was elected on an anti-corruption pledge. But then now it can harness. And I think that is what is incredible. Hashtag Million People March. It didn't get 1 million people out on the streets, but it got 120,000 people. And here's the other part. What we do in Rappler is build communities of action. And what we saw, we have a tool that maps these communities in the virtual world, in social media. And what we saw was the communities forming, looking for leadership, for guidance, for information. And once they get that, they become communities of action. I think that's the possibilities ahead. Traditional journalism has a greater role to play, but with social media, and let me end with just a definition of social media. Your physical social networks are your family and friends. Social media are your social networks, your family and friends, without boundaries of time and space. So it is your family and friends on steroids. It is part of the reason that when you look at a social media post, if you compare traditional advertising with social media, traditional advertising's impact is about 14%. Social media, because you're following people you know, that impact goes up to 94%. So if we can harness that for these anti-corruption efforts, if we can multiply the efforts of the Ombudsman, of Jess, if we can multiply our efforts exponentially without boundaries of time and space, that's the potential ahead of us, and that is the power technology offers to us today. Thanks.